Big news recently dropped regarding the media wars. Out of nowhere, Fox Footy released their ratings and numbers, and it's fair to say it was a flex on their free-to-air rivals. It hasn't stopped some employees of Channel 7 firing their own shots back in creative ways, and this war is starting to get personal. Throw in major change-ups at AFL House, and an unlikely rivalry forming between two clubs, and there is plenty to discuss and analyse in the AFL media world. The first talking point is with Brian Taylor. I'm not sure how many people saw this, but at the end of KO's Super Saturday promo ad, BT made a guest appearance, kind of, in an attempt to poke fun at BT and Channel 7 for being locked out of Saturday games. As you can see in the ad, an actor playing BT is banging on the hotel door to get in. The audio also has this BT character yelling his famous "oh no" quote. It was a clear shot at him. Danny Russell from The Age wrote, 1-7 Insider called it disrespectful, that being the ad, and it was an early salvo in footy's escalating broadcast wars, a chest-beating declaration that Foxtel had been granted exclusive rights under the AFL's new mega TV rights deal to show all Saturday games in Victoria. But BT fired back. During the coverage of a Sunday game where Melbourne hosted Sydney at the MCG, Taylor said, "It is just interesting in this magnificent arena on a Sunday afternoon, a beautiful day, that you come here, and it's magnificent to be here, and look across to the box next door of our opposition, and none of them are here today. They haven't come from the 2-kilometre trek from South Melbourne. If you don't know, a lot of the games called by Fox Footy, especially those not on Friday nights or big marquee occasions, are called from their local headquarters in South Melbourne. Now, analysts and boundary writers do sometimes get the plane ticket over to interstate games, but most of them are fully called and hosted from Melbourne." In the 27th of May edition of the Herald Sun, this ad was run. An industry expert said the ad would cost between $8,000 and $16,000. The message was simple but multi-layered, placed provocatively in a News Corp paper, the Rupert Murdoch company that will hand control of Foxtel to UK sports streaming service DAZN in the second half of this year as part of a $3.4 billion deal. It was provocative and showed that Seven is backing their man in Taylor and showing the AFL viewers that only one network has real live coverage with their people at the games. Chris Jones, head of Seven Sport coverage, said, "I don't have a view on what others are doing, but I do know what makes our coverage the best it can possibly be, and being at venues is something that we've put a major focus on, which is why we will be at every game this year. However, I'm not so sure Fox is too bothered." After waiting and waiting, Fox finally revealed some of their streaming numbers. They are big. So far in 2025, viewers are up 25% compared to the same time in 2024, with a total streaming minutes number of 3.4 billion. The big battle is for Thursday and Friday nights. It's why Fox got in Jared Waitley as a commentator to pair with Anthony Hudson on Fridays, and paired Matt Hill and Mark Howard for their Thursday coverage. Now, Seven's live numbers will always be higher because it's free for everyone, but Fox has skyrocketed on the nights. Thursday night footy on Fox is up a massive 41% compared to last season, with Friday not too far behind, up 30%. They are monumental increases and show that a lot of the people who have the choice between the Fox coverage and Seven are going to the paid service. Steve Crawley, managing director of Fox Sports, said he was stoked with how AFL matches were performing across the Foxtel network. "We have loved the opportunity to bring fans the fresh Fox Footy look and sound with our graphics and commentary teams to Thursday and Friday night footy for the first time. The numbers tell us we have hit the right note, backed by some quality on-field contests. Fox will be thrilled with their numbers so far in 2025, and their own big investments and commentary combinations are clearly paying off." As we all know, both Seven and Fox Footy made changes to their lineups, and the AFL has now done the same. After mounting pressure, CEO Andrew Dillon made his first big move as boss and is set to rejig the team at head office. Laura Kane's role has essentially been split in half, and she has been softly demoted, if that's a thing. In this new lineup, she is, quote, AFL executive as EGM of football operations with responsibility of delivering the AFL, AFLW, VFL and VFL competitions, as well as overseeing the league's mental health and welfare response. Her old role, which has now been rebranded to EGM of football performance, will lead key on-field functions including the match review office, umpiring, the laws of the game, and football engagement with the 18 clubs. This new position is obviously crucial in the function of the sport at the top level. It was recently announced that Brisbane CEO Greg Swan is the man who will step into the role. He's experienced being at Carlton and Collingwood, two of the major AFL clubs, while also being a key figure in the Brisbane rebuild and being the man to hire Premiership coach Chris Fagan. It's been described as a coup for the AFL to land such a senior football person and someone who understands the challenges felt at clubland. The switch-up has been coming for some time, and perhaps the events the AFL has mishandled in the past month has quickened up the process to get a new general manager of football in. Kane is still important at AFL HQ, and her work in the mental health space and AFLW can now be prioritised. And the final big event that happened in the media was pre-match of the St Kilda and Gold Coast game, which closed out round 11. Ross Lyon took a swipe at the Suns, referring to the team's talent and now infamously calling them the AFL's Nepo baby. We can all infer that is directed at the Suns Academy. St Kilda and their president Andrew Bassett have been the most vocal club, pointing at the advantage of the Northern Academies. Now the Saints would go on to lose to the Suns, and then Damien Hardwick in his post-match press conference took his turn to fire back.
Disrespectful, I think. Trust me, I've been at Richmond and I've come to the Gold Coast. We don't get a lot. What probably St Kilda should do is just make sure they focus on their own backyard instead of trying to bring everyone else down. You know, 13,000 people here today. We'll just focus on Gold Coast. They should focus on themselves. End of the day, first person or first place you need to look is injury. So focus on them, we'll focus on us.
It's an unlikely rivalry, and both sides do have good points. Sure, the Northern Academies give access to stars, but again the Suns themselves have never made finals and lost their own stars throughout their existence, and the Saints do need to focus on themselves and keep following their path and developing players. Maybe the small battle was a 0-0 draw, although I don't think at St Kilda they will settle down in pointing out the advantages some clubs have over them.